46. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
I don't want to wait 10 more seconds. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a very, very long time since I've been able to get back on stream with you. I'm glad we are here today. I am super excited for today's stream. I hope you are as well. We finally have some airliners in Microsoft Flight Simulator, other than just what we had with the default aircraft and, of course, with the fly-by-wire, but just some actual airliners from third-party devs coming into town. I love it. You guys, if you've been around the channel, you know I love the 146, even on the X-Plane 11 platform. I thought it was a very unique airplane to fly. It has a lot of unique quirks about it. You know, it's just nothing really describes this airplane more so than just unique. Like this, I don't know what this situation is going on over here, but that is also very unique. So it's fitting that we're here in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe, TVL. If you guys watched my AirCal, what was it, marathon stream for the VA, we had the escape from Tahoe situation. We kept flying into, I don't know what it was, like a brick in the middle of the air that nobody could see and the airplane would just explode. So hopefully we escape from Tahoe today. I hope you guys are ready for this. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about this airplane. We're going to talk about the MD-80 because, of course, the MD-80 is out. Why am I not streaming the MD-80 right now? Honestly, mostly it's because there's a ton of MD-80 stuff out there right now. That's not a bad thing. I've actually been watching. I've been watching Captain Can. I watched XP stream. I watched Q8. Did Q8 fly the Q? No, I watched his 146 flight the other day. But just everybody's been flying the MD-80. I've been watching it. I've been doing some flights. I have one flight on the 80. I like it. You guys know I love sounds, though, and obviously the sound situation. I feel like I'm saying situation a lot. We should We're going to need to stop that. But anyway, we'll talk about that in cruise right now. Today it is about the 146 Avro. We got 4 APUs ready to go, as John said. Happy to be here. Tom Pasco, good to see you. Other Jason, Scott, Alexandra Bellini, Romulus is here. Good to see you, my friend. And Michael Gorno, Alfie, Douglas, Herman Ronk, good to see you. Tom Pasco, Al W, if I didn't say it already. Swarm 3513. What is up? Christian Ionscu and many, many more. Blue Bear up there in the chat. Aaron Hastings. Also everybody else. Rusty C, 13 months, man. What's up? I really like the flight stuff. Good quality aircraft. I really like the Just Flight stuff. Good quality aircraft. Yes, it is indeed a very good quality airplane. We're going to talk all about that here on this flight down to... We're actually cutting it short to Burbank. We're going to Burbank today because my GPU, my new GPU, is sitting at my front door. So I want to go pick that up here. We're going to end this stream a little bit shorter with a little bit shorter flight. But thank you for the continued support, Rusty. Very, very much appreciated that. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and... kill the music there, and we're going to get this thing fired up here. Let me just go ahead and find that. There it is right there. Okay, that should be done. So I think, again, the background in the GA is failing his check flight. He might be. Okay, into the cockpit we go. Thought I heard a little something else over here on the other side. What's going on? Oh, look, there's a little corporate jet or something starting up there. Guys, welcome to the flight deck of the BAE 146. I've been doing some reading. I've been trying to... I feel like I had a good grasp on how to fly this airplane in X-Plane 11. The key bindings and stuff are a little bit stranger in Microsoft. As always, I think that's going to be one of the biggest hurdles when we get all these complex airplanes to the sim, is figuring out key bindings. And I think it was Christian, you told me the best way to set it up. If you have an Alpha and Bravo, any of the Honeycomb products, I don't know if the Thrustmaster stuff does this as well, but I feel like, or I don't feel, it actually happens when you load into a new airplane with an Alpha yoke and a Bravo throttle. It binds all kinds of random stuff. So it'll bind the lights, but then it'll bind them to weird switches, and then you might have like mixture cut off. I don't know, it's weird. So in order to make sure everything is working, make sure you clear all of your settings out of your Alpha and Bravo and just make sure it's exactly what you want, because I had some issues. I couldn't start the #1 engine, but that's because I had a random button that said engine 1 mixture cut off. I don't know. So that's going to be the biggest hurdle for all these airplanes coming to Microsoft. But I think we're going to get a handle on it here as we get more and more airplanes to the sim and we get used to it. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this airplane up here. Let's go ahead. It's late night 3090 stream. Yes, so Scott is spilling the beans. I do have a 3090 GPU. I finally got my hands on one. It is sitting at my house right now. So we aren't going to go all the way to San Diego. We're going to stop onto Burbank. I think Burbank will be a lot of fun. Super short runway. This airplane could definitely do it. And then I might run to the house, pick up the GPU. I'm definitely going to put it in tonight. I'll see if I stream. If I stream, it probably won't be announced. Maybe members only. So just keep an eye open for that. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get this airplane on and ready to go. So first things we're going to do, we're going to go battery 1 and battery 2. I'm going to check my battery voltages. So battery 2, about 28 volts. Battery 1, right about 28 volts as well. So we got 2 batteries on board. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and hook up the ground power right now. And you'll see the ground power comes over to the airplane, fires up nicely. Beautiful. So we got the ground power on. So now we're going to go external AC. We'll go ahead and turn that on. We'll go ahead and turn galley power on while we're sitting here. I'm going to come up to the top here. We're going to go position lights into high intensity. While I'm up here, let's go ahead and turn the entry lights on. Let's turn the logo lights on. Well, we don't really need logo lights today. Let's go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights. No smoking signs will come on. Beacon off, strobe off. That looks good. Let's get the fans running in here. We don't really have any AP or air blowing, but it shouldn't be all that hot here. So we're going to go ahead and get that going up. All right. 3090, do I not like money? Hey, so I got it on a real good deal on Newegg. They had it was like a $400 discount. So I actually been tracking it for quite some time. Being able to pick it up when I did, just it was pretty sweet. So, all right. That is up. I'm going to go all the way to the top of this miscellaneous panel up on the top here. We're going to go yaw dampers 1 and 2, autopilot master, avionics master, A and B are on. Bart, good to see you. Welcome to Private Pilot, sir. Exclamation point, welcome. If Nightbot joins the channel, which I don't think Nightbot has joined the channel yet. So I will get Nightbot here in just a minute. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Nightbot. Where are you at, Nightbot? It's been so long since I streamed, everything's a little out of whack here, but there we go. I think he should be coming to the channel momentarily. Another streamer, YouTuber with a 3090. I guess it's normal people who never know how the Sims actually perform, as everyone who tests them have good tier computers. Chris, you know what? From right now though, my 1070, I feel your pain because I know what it's like to have a lower end GPU. I've always been at the very bottom end of the curve of GPUs that come to the market. You know, I'm still rocking a 1070, just straight up 1070 for a really long time. And the main reason that I'm going to the 3090 is, number one, I know that we're going to get some more high fidelity airplanes here on Microsoft, and I want to be able to have maximum performance and camera angles for you. So having the higher GPU will allow me to run multiple screens in higher resolution. So like you have the yoke cam, we'll have a throttle cam, and then I can also translate that into DCS. I'm getting into the DCS stuff. And my 1070 works just fine on DCS, but having some extra VRAM is where I really want to be. So, but I will, you know, I don't fully anticipate running my settings all the way up to max either, because I know I don't think any system can run everything at max and have good FPS. But anyway, my 1070 still has been doing pretty good. All right, where are we at here? We got to finish our flow. We got a little bit distracted here. We're going to come down to the index page. I'm going to go ahead and do a data link, and I want to get the weather here. We're going to load up KTVL and also K Burbank. I'm going to put those both in here. We'll send those away. Let's go back to the flight plan page, and let's actually get a flight plan in the box.
Ahead.
KTVL to Burbank, not San Diego. So KBUR. That is on. Thanks for the subscribe, man. Appreciate it. We're getting close to 24,000 subs, so if you guys want to help me out on the way to 24, very, very much appreciated. All right, we're going to leave that blank for now. Let's go ahead, power on that, power on that. Our radar, we're going to put it in standby and 15, and actually, no, we can just leave it off. We're going to leave tilt up to 15, though. We'll come to the bottom panel down here. We are standby, and we're going to squawk 2,000. Enter. Squawking 2,000. We're in standby. We got our brake temperatures on. I'm 2 years into a build because I didn't have sense enough to buy the GPU first. Now we wait. Yep. Astro, do I have any history flying this plane? No, I do not. You flew one on a 146 as a young kid? Oh, nice, man. Oh, you mean actually flying on it? Yes. You know, I think I want to say I did fly on one back in the day, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. Let's go ahead and turn that on, make sure everything else is set up. Just getting the rest of our stuff set up here. What I also want to do is run, that's going to go into auto. We're going to go ahead and get the bus ties on. We're going to arm those. I'm going to get the APU fired up here in a minute, so we're going to go ahead and start the inner fuel tank. APU start stop, that's coming up online right now. Ice detect switch, that's coming on. We'll leave the heaters off for now. Once we get the APU on, we'll be ready to go. We're going to load the flight plan next. With a 3060 DCS at max settings at 1440, I get 30 FPS. Good to hear it, man. Good to hear it. See, I don't play in 4K resolution yet, which, you know, I think that's fine. But if I feel like that's the biggest limiter on my system is the GPU. All right, guys, we're going to part off 3.6, Richie 7 out to spook transition, execute that, and then this is real easy here. We're going to go departure, arrival, index, Burbank, arrival. We're going to do the ILS Zulu 8 on the rocker, I believe. Let's pull up our flight plan from over here. Let's go to OFP. Let's go to summary. Richie 7 Spook Shiver Reberg Rocker 2. So Spook Shiver Reberg Rocker 2. So Rocker 2, arrow right, Reberg, execute. Let's go to the legs page now. So Richie Spook. After Spook it was Shiver, SHVVR. So there is no what's it called, SimBrief integration that I know of on this airplane yet. But most of the time I'm probably not going to be flying it with this FMS. This is from that CJ mod, and they've blocked a lot of the features from it, but it gets the basic job done. It gets the basic job done. Would I like to see a full functioning FMS? Absolutely, but most of my flying in this airplane will probably be done VOR to VOR. Anyway, that's how I did my flying in X-Plane 11 with it. So, what's up, Logan Pilot? Good to see you, man. Elena Zane, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board. All right, here in Tahoe, we've got variable at 3 knots, 10 miles clear, 10, -7, and 3013 on the meter. So let's set 3013. 3013 is set once and twice. Our APU is on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the APU air. Now, what I've understood from pack operation is on odd days you run pack 1, on even days you run pack 2. So today is an odd day, so we're going to run pack 1 on. You can see our duct temp's going to come up a little bit there, and we should get some temperature in, some air into the cabin now. With the APU powering the airplane now, let's go ahead and turn off the external AC. Oh, there we go. I should have had the APU generator online first. Should have the APU gen on first before disconnecting external power. Oh well, that's fine. We'll go back to the aircraft. I'm going to pull the ground power cart. Probably done with the cargo. As far as passengers, we're going to take 100 and... Ooh, we're getting a little heavy there. 108. What is our fuel requirement? Let's go back to OFP. Block fuel. This says kilograms, but it's actually in pounds. So we only need 7,700 pounds. Let's call it 8,000 pounds. So if I need 8,000 pounds, we're going to change this. We'll do 4,000. 4,000. 4,000. That should give us a total fuel weight of 8,000 pounds. There we go. And we got 110 people on board. To automatically set your trim, we'll go ahead and click on this right here, 34.2. That will spin the trim for takeoff trim. Aft cargo is 1764. Forward is 1764. We are a little bit heavy, 85,000 pounds. That's because we got some nice cargo on board. But we still have the chocks on, forward passengers, and stairs. That is good. Coming back to the overhead, I think we're basically ready to go. We got to look at our departure now. I really dislike the typeface on the McDo. Airbus has spoiled me. Crow. Airbus has spoiled me from a lot of things, man. A lot of things. All right, we do have a little bit of a complex departure here, so we're going to talk about this. If you don't know about Tahoe here, we've got a lot of high terrain in all quadrants. So here we are, South Lake Tahoe, TVL. We're departing runway 36, which is, we're lucky we're able to do that today because there is no departure procedure for runway 18. So just due to terrain. So 36 takes us up over the lake, and there's actually a SID. As far as taxiing out, it shouldn't be a problem. We know where we're going to go. Right turn all the way to 36 full length. So let's look at our departure procedure. We want to look at this a little bit closely here because we're going to be using a mix of I'm actually going to fly the departure in round gauges, and then we're going to load it, and then we're just going to go FMS direct once we get up to a little bit of altitude, because I like being able to twist and turn dials, and I think this departure procedure in particular is really good for learning how to fly SIDs, because it's basic, yet it has a lot of things in it. You have a heading segment, you have a VOR segment, you have a course reversal, and then you also have a DME changeover, or basically just a radial changeover out to spook. So dissecting this here, let me zoom in a little bit more. Can I close that? Oh, no. What'd I do? TVL. Oh, let's see, 10.9. Oh, I guess I can't make that page any smaller. I thought I could. Okay, so looking at this here, going northbound, we're going to depart straight out, then a heading of 343 to intercept the 297 radial to Squaw Valley, which is 13.2. So let's go ahead and dial in 13.2 here on our VHF nav. 13.2. And we said the course was 297. So I'm going to dial in course 297 here. Jeff, I hope it is not a repeat of the X-Plane 11 one. You're absolutely right. We had a hard time getting out of here in X-Plane 11. All right, easy does it there. All right, 297 inbound. Okay, and we're also going to be on heading 343. So I'm going to dial this around. Actually, I'm just going to keep it on runway heading at first, and then we're going to, at 400 feet, we'll start the turn. So runway heading is 360, and then we're going to turn to 343, 297 inbound. 297 inbound to Squaw Valley. Now, when we hit Squaw Valley, we need to do a procedure turn to track back outbound 117 to eventually pick up this radial out to Spook here, which is 17.9. So to do this, I'm going to go into the pre-mode here, and I'm going to dial in the standby on COM 1 to 17.9. There we go, 17.9. So now all I got to do is flip the switch, and I'll have both radials. But what I can also do here as good pilots, you know, we always want to have redundancy. I'm even going to put the FO's VOR on 17.9, and we're going to set his course up to match, which is the 192 outbound. And it's already set, 192 outbound. So that's what we're going to track. We've got it set up. We don't have any ATC on. We'll go to our final cruising altitude to flight level 290. I'm going to dial that in right now. Actually, Reno approach is online. Do I have to call Reno approach? Might have to call Reno approach for a squawk code. Been a while since I've had to do that. Team Vodka, what's up? Remember what happened last time? Yeah, everyone's reminding me, yes. Yes, I do remember. I hate to remember because we did, what was it, like a 7-hour stream, and we just could not get out of here. All right, so we got the weather, 30-13, light and variable, 10 degrees outside. 10 degrees outside, we'll go ahead and set our TMS up here now for takeoff. So the TMS, we're going to power this sucker on. Think of this as, I believe it's a thrust modulation system, but essentially what it is a very early rendition of auto thrust, I guess, if you want to say that. But it doesn't really move the thrust levers per se. What it does is it helps you set power and sync your N1s. So what we're going to do here, we said it's 10 degrees outside, so I'm going to set 10 degrees here, which I guess 9 degrees is fine. We'll go ahead and let it run through its test. Let's see, it's going to test all the buttons. Once that's set, we're going to go ahead and hit the takeoff button. So at 10 degrees Celsius, our max takeoff is 94.1. So with 94.1, I'm going to look over here at my V-speeds. This is populated on the current weight of the aircraft for 3,900 tons. So we're going to do a flaps 24 departure, so 1924. If I click this, it's going to now set my EPR bugs to match 94.1. So now I got my EPR bugs set. I got my TGT bugs set as well. So that is set for takeoff. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and turn it off because you don't want it on during engine start. You could cause some issues with that. What else we can do now? We can do the pull to test here. We want to make sure all of our lights are on. That is good. And we can pull it back out, put it in the middle position there, and now we're good to go. I'm going to put this back on the legs page. I'm going to come down here. We're going to turn the yaw damper on. 2,000 on the squawked. You might have to move the first digit and last digit. Let me see. Oh, yes, you guys are right. Look at that. 10C. So if I power back on and hit takeoff, what will it be now? 94.1. So it's only 1 degree different. So actually, it's not. It's the same. So that's good. But there we go. Thanks, guys. Got to move each drum. So that's a drum, essentially, each drum. All right, that is set. Last thing we want to do before we get ready to start engines, let's go ahead and set our cruise altitude today of 290. So altitude set, and you pull for baro set. We don't need to do that. So 290 is set. Should auto pressurize it as in auto. That is good. All right. What's up, Chris Stuper? What did you use arrival runway? I used runway 8. All right, let's go to our aircraft. Let's go ahead and pull chocks. Now, this is something cool that I had issues with. We didn't do our hydraulics stuff. So look, we cannot retract the stairs because we got to get our hydraulics pressurized up here properly. So I'm going to come up to the top. There's a couple. You can actually do a hydraulic test when you turn the DC pump on. It won't fully pressurize the yellow, but it'll pressurize some of it, which is kind of cool. So what I'll do now is I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn the PTU on and the AC pump on. And look, now we're going to pressurize the whole system. We're going to pressurize yellow and green. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and pull the stairs. Gosh, this airplane just looks so good outside too. And we'll go ahead and close the forward passenger door. With the forward passenger door closed, I'm going to come up top. We'll go ahead and start the beacon. We can close the, we can shut off the entry light. We're going to go ahead and turn all hydraulics off for engine start. We're going to turn pack 1 off. Reset. We need a little bit of light in here. Let's go ahead and turn that floodlight on a little bit. I do have the time set to like 4 p.m., so we should have a little bit better lighting situation when we land. And engine anti-ice for start. So this is something cool that I learned. Basically, we turn the ice protection on for engine start because it helps with torque of the motors during startup. So it's actually less stress on the engine to start them up. That's part of the procedure. The engine anti-ice comes on for engine start, which I just thought was kind of wild when you see that. Because normally, this is a big no-no. Like in the Airbus, especially on shutdown. You don't want to have the engine anti-ice on when you shut down the master switch because sometimes you can get a valve disagreement there. You lose all that bleed pressure on that system and you can get a valve disagreement. It could be an issue for the next cruise. So this is so opposite of what I'm used to in the Airbus specifically. I don't know if there are any other aircraft like this, but it is indeed correct. You do turn the engine anti-ice on for engine start. We'll arm the flight deck lights as well. Let me just double check that I did arm the cabin lights up here. On and no smoking, and they are armed. Cool. All right, we're about ready to start engines. Are you guys ready to start? What's up, Sim Aviator? Good to see you, man. Is there a good checklist for this bird? So I should be using it, but there is a default checklist, which I love. And I'm going to go ahead and start using it now for the before start checklist. So here we go. But good to see you, Sim Aviator, man. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Glad to have you on board. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. So departure briefing is complete. We're going to fly runway heading, then a left turn to 343 to 1,500 feet. Then we're going to intercept the 297 radial outbound. As far as our takeoff profile, we want to fly V2 plus a 20, right? So V2 speed at 24, so we're going to be flying 144 knots is what we're going to pitch for. So that is set. Departure briefing is complete. Brake pressure checked above 2,500. Hydraulics are all off. Fuel center transfer, that is over here. Even though we don't have fuel in the center tank, that is good. So we'll go ahead and tick that item. Ice detection, it is on. Fasten seatbelts are on. So we can go ahead and tick that item. Fuel quantity is checked for the flight, and you should zero the meters, which they are zeroed out. So we can go ahead and tick item. Altimeter set and cross-check 3013. Let me just hit B here. What is it? Oh, 3011 is set both times. We'll go ahead and tick that. MWS ground op switch, red reset. We did that, and it's in the middle position. Check. TMS N1 bugs, they are set. We'll go ahead and tick that. Doors and equipment, they are closed and removed. We'll go ahead and that is complete. Engine starting checklist. Beacon light. Confirm that I turned that on. I believe I did. Beacon light is on. We'll go ahead and tick that item. PAX and APU air, that is all off. Let me verify APU air is off. It is not. That's what we want to verify. So APU air is off. Packs are off for engine start. Engine anti-ice, all 4 are on. Fuel pumps. Good thing we're doing a checklist. All fuel pumps are coming on. Tick item. TMS is off. Engine start power normal, which it is. Engine start mastered on, and now we're going to go ahead and start all 4 engines. So I'm going to set that to after start. We'll go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead and fire this sucker up. Yeah, clear direct Fubar. Thank you, man. 216 people here. Let's show the captain some support, and get those likes up. I know I'm not so interactive in the chat. It's just getting this airplane set up. Like I said, it's quirky. I like to take about 10 minutes here during the stream just to be heads down, get the airplane fired up, and then I'm much more interactive. So I do apologize if you guys are asking me questions. Now would be the time to start asking me questions that we got the majority of the setup complete. But yeah, hit the like button for me. Show me some love. I love the sounds on this airplane. I still have a door open. There we go. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Arm doors and cross-check for cabin crew. We're going to move this to number 4. Start master switch on. And here we go, starting engine 4. Listen to that little sound there, that little... Now we're going to wait for 10% and 1. There it is. Fuel. Oh, I have my cabin on. I'm going to turn the cabin off. I have better view save with the cabin off. Jeremy, I agree. The cockpit sounds, the sound set on this airplane alone is very, very good. So if you aren't familiar, the 146 is actually referred to as the whisper jet. And it is indeed very, very quiet, but the sounds that they've done on this airplane as far as JustFlight goes, they've done a fantastic job with the sound set. I think it sounds very good. I'll bump them up just a little bit here on the stream. Let me know if it gets too loud. All right, sounds like we've got a good start on number 1. We're just going to go 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to start them up. As far as pushback sequence goes, I'm going to manually do a pushback here as soon as I introduce fuel. There's 7, 8, 9. Do you see all the internal lights flicker on engine start due to the strain? Yep. That's the detail I'm talking about, man. You can hear the strain of the interior lights. It just, there's a lot of detail on this airplane that I absolutely, absolutely love. We'll go ahead and start manual pushback. We'll do it nice and slow. Oh, release brake. There we go. I wanted to go the other way, but we'll be fine. I wonder why it's have a little interesting situation with that there. Little flicker, there we go. And I think that should be far enough. We can turn out from there. So we'll go ahead and stop the pushback. Go ahead and set the brakes. Fuel. Yeah, I'm going to have to check the rudder pedals here. I don't know what's going on with that. You're absolutely right, because I don't seem to be getting any deflection on the rudder pedals. We have control column. What's up with the rudder pedals? Oh, is it because the hydraulics are off? I think it's because the hydraulics are off. Stand by. We'll do a check. We'll do a check after we start. This is what I'm talking about. I think it has to do with hydraulic servos. All right, we're going to go ahead and start engine 1. Last one. Here it comes. Eight, 9, 10% fuel. Super quiet, but they don't call it a whisper jet for no reason. I like how you'll start to see that hot air coming out there. Nice. Oh, I love it. The texturing and modeling of this airplane are freaking awesome. All right, we have 4 good starts. So engine selector goes to off, start master off. Let's go ahead and go generator 1, generator 4. Engine anti-ice will come off. APU generator offline. You know what? I actually get to keep that online. Engine APU gen will stay online. We are pack 1 today. We established that. Engine air off, APU air on. We'll get our ice protection heaters on. Now we're going to go up to the hydraulics all on. Engine 2, engine 3, DC pump, AC pump on, PTU on. Now do we have rudder? And look at that. Now we can move the rudders. Look at that. So that's what I'm talking about when we have very, very good in-depth simulation here. I'm going to go ahead and get the
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
stick cam up for you as well, because we are going to set flaps 18 for takeoff. We'll watch it from right here, so that's a second notch. Let me get my drink out of the way. Flaps into position 2. Are those rocker switches backlit at all? I just can't imagine getting used to the cockpit with all the switches looking alike. They are backlit, Tony Johns, excuse me. They are indeed backlit. Look at the flaps coming down though, huh? I love that. Man. All right, that is good. Let's go ahead and continue now with the rest of our stuff. Up here, brake fans, auto anti-skid on. That's in op, that stays on. Yellow and green lift spoilers are on. Just do an overhead check here. I'm going to put this on engine 1 generator. That is good. You could theoretically go engine 1, engine 4 gens, all in the green. We've got all our fuel on. Everything else looks good. Oops. Nope, external AC can stay off. Sometimes if you mouse wheel zoom and you put it over a switch, you can accidentally trigger a switch, but that looks good. Everything else is out. Brake fan selector on, parking brake on, flight recorder is off because we have the parking brake set. All right, let's do an after start checklist and get out of here, shall we? Start power norm. We'll go ahead and tick that. Both off. Engine anti-ice as required. Gen 1 and 4 both on. Brake fans auto. 2 and 3 hydraulics both on. AC pump and PTU auto and on. Heaters all on. APU and air, that is set and checked. Engine air off. TMS. We do need to turn that back on after engine start. Let's come up here and power the TMS back up. And takeoff mode 94.1 as previously discussed. We'll go ahead and tick that item. Transponder into TA is set. Taxi lights, we'll get those. Brakes tested on initial roll. That is all done. That is before takeoff checklist is complete. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that inverted flat spin going on behind us, and we've got that guy in front of us. So this is going to be an interesting turnout here. Let's go ahead and go taxi light position. We'll go ahead and turn the brakes off. Oh, I have my track IR on, which is good. I'm using my tiller over here. So you're probably asking why I kept the Airbus throttles. I like the feeling of the bigger knobs. So what I've done is I've assigned engine 1 and 2 to the left throttle, engine 3 and 4 to the right throttle. So I've kept my Airbus Etsy levers there because I just like the way they feel in my hand. Yeah, we're going to make a nice tight turnout here. We got the nose wheel tiller pegged all the way to the right. Steve, it is a dumpster fire on the ground. Does the parking brake give you as much trouble on X-Plane 11? No, it does not, Jeff. It does not. It's much easier to use. I did have my tiller cam set up, but I ended up having an issue with one of the cameras, so I know you can't see it, but I am using my Cat 3 design tiller. You can see here it works beautifully with this aircraft. I have no idea what happened there, but that's just another day on a Microsoft Flight Simulator ramp. Let's do a brake check. They work and normal. Cool. Continue to taxi out. The views are stunning. Even when you're looking at a Baron doing an inverted flat spin. Maybe he's too excited for the Top Gun stream that's coming out. If you haven't already, I invite you to hit the like button. We got a lot of fun content coming at you this week, guys. Especially, I'm super excited for my 3090 GPU to come up. I'm going to hook that up tonight. You're probably wondering why we're not in the 80. I talked a little bit about it before. We will be in the 80, though, the MD-80 this week. I can guarantee you that. There's some things that bother me about that airplane, and I'm probably going to receive a lot of hate for it if I talk about what bothers me. I will say this though, as far as the Leonardo Mad Dog is considered, I very, very much love how in depth the aircraft is modeled. I love its uniqueness and how challenging it is to actually get everything set up and do everything proper. I love that aspect about it. That said, there are some things that really bug me. First and foremost are the sounds. Now, being jump seating on 80s a lot when I was commuting to and from work, I'll be the first to tell you that the sounds up front are virtually nil. Like, you really don't hear much as far as engine sounds up front. But the cockpit itself is a relatively noisy place, and I feel like I'm just sitting in a room all by myself with the current sound set. Now, the exterior sounds could be better too, but anyway, so the sounds are number one, and there's a couple other things that just kind of, just like why, you know? Like the livery setup, you know, having to go to the forums and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like they made it a lot more difficult to enjoy than it should be, you know? This airplane, this 146, I'm just like you guys. I'm not sponsored by JustFlight at all. I bought this airplane with my own money. I never received any pre-release information like that, but I am absolutely in love with this airplane. The ease of use as far as checklist integration, comes with liveries, the variants that you get the 100, 200, 300, the combi, and a military variant as well. Just a lot of cool stuff with this airplane. And the hand flying aspects of this 146 are really, really good. I've messed with it. You know, I do have sensitivity curves on almost all my yoke-driven aircraft. I use the Honeycomb Alpha. I feel like my Alpha yoke is it's still very stiff. So what I do is I do add curves to almost everything with my Alpha yoke. I've been very curious to try the Thrustmaster yoke. Just haven't gone down that route yet. But with a little bit of curves, I think I'm running 20. I think 20 is my standard curve, both on the pitch and roll with the Alpha yoke, and it seems to be good. But this plane, this 146, has definitely flown under the radar with how good it is. And like I said earlier, I'm not sponsored by JustFlight. I purchased this aircraft the night it released. So it's just me giving you my dead honest opinion. And it's a joy to fly. It's a joy to hand fly, and it's challenging, but at the same time, it's easy if you learn what you need to do. So, and I'm hopefully going to be able to talk you guys through some things. Now, I'm going to give you the most important tips right now as we taxi into the runway. So, first and foremost, we're going to get our flight director bars on. Now, this took me forever to figure out, and I don't know where it is in the manual because I even did a word search and I couldn't find it, but I figured it out by mistake. We need this to be in go-around mode. So if I press here, now, which I thought this was autopilot disconnect, which maybe it's not, but apparently it puts us into a go-around mode with our flight directors up. That's the mode you want to be in for takeoff. We also want to arm our altitude, and we're going to arm our heading. So this is what you should see here. We've got altitude arm, go-around, heading, and pitch, okay? Now, after departure, this airplane relies on what's called the sync mode. And basically what happens is you press the sync button on the yoke. You can see it's actually labeled here. You press the sync button on the yoke. You put the aircraft where you want it to be as far as pitch and roll. And then you release the sync button. And then the autopilot will fly whatever you left it. Now, the Embraer 170 was very similar. There was a button called TCS, and you used to be able to just TCS around clouds, or you could TCS on a heading, and then as soon as you let go, the autopilot would recapture what it was previously doing. So while it's not exactly the same, it's similar with the whole syncing function. The sync button is bound to, and remember this, it took me forever to find it. This is in the manual, however. You want to bind your sync button to toggle afterburner. If you toggle afterburner, you can't see it, but I have it on my, let's see, I bound it to my yoke, like over here. And that will allow you to properly use the sync function and properly hand fly the airplane. So that's what you need to do. That'll make things a lot better for you. All right, let's go ahead and do a before takeoff check here before we get totally rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and do before takeoff. Flight instruments, they are checked. Flight directors on as required. Trim, set, and check. Config, test. That's the brake. That is checked. I saw the brake come on there. That's why. And actually, you know what? You don't do it that way. You actually do it this way. Have that little MD80 on me. Config test. Where you at? I believe that's the brake that's coming on, right? Yeah. Let me try it without the brake. Yep, config check is good. So we did our due diligence there as pilots. We did a proper config check. Continuous ignition, A and B. They coming online. Tick item. Cabin. Let's go ahead and call the cabin.
Cabin crew, please take proceeds for takeoff.
Now we're going to wait for the cabin to call us back, and we're going to flip the cabin secure card here, which you'll see. It will switch over. While we wait, we're going to go ahead and continue. Weather radar as required. We don't need it. There we go. Look, cabin is now secured. We're ready to go for takeoff. Weather radar as required. Landing and strobe lights all on. TMS on TO. Flight controls unlocked and free. MWS checked. Boom. That's all done. We can do the rest from here on out. That is complete. So, are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and get our lights on. And we're going to start strobing. And wing lights on as well. I probably should make some radio calls here. 122.8. But I don't have my. Hold on. What is my push to talk? I need to figure that out. That's not good. I don't have a push to talk down. I'll bind it to this. Oh, now we're hot biking. Hold on, guys. I should have done this before. Sorry. Wow, it just clear that, and all right, I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to clear that. For some reason, it's
You're good now.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's not letting me do it properly. Oh well, let's get out of here. We'll figure it out. We don't need engine and ice. It's off. Everything else is ready to go. Let's go. We're gonna have to figure out that push to talk. I don't know. It's my alpha doing weird things. So like my alpha and Bravo have a ton of ghost button presses on, particularly my alpha, because of the cable thing that we've talked to nauseam about. Even with the fix I did, I still have issues. So I'm actually going to turn my track IR on, if I remember how to unpause it. There we go. I'll go ahead and put you into this mode here. Put it into smooth mode. There we go. Track IR is set. Are you guys ready to go? Alright, we are ready to go. So here we go. Nose forward on the control column just a little bit. We're going to spool it up to about 50%. And then we want to set it close to 94.1 and the TMS will take over. Yoga's in chat. Here we go. We're going to bring it all the way up close to our EPR bug that we set. Watching the TMS, we want those blue lights to disappear over here, which they did. Power is set. Must have missed something. I don't know why he's not talking to me. Have an FO normally does callouts. That TARA. Alright, takeoff power is set. You can see the TMS is working to synchronize the EPRs as best as possible. Airspeed alive. 100 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Remember, Nice and easy. About 10 degrees. Pause and a brake. Gear up. A little bit of trim. And let's go ahead and start dialing in our heading to 343. I'm going to, there's some heading going there. We'll go ahead and heading. All right, approaching 1,500 feet now. We're going to press sync on the TMS, and we're going to walk our climb power back to about 88%. You can see my course is coming alive here. So let's go ahead and select V-low. And I'm going to hit my sync button. That's the wrong button. About 800 feet per minute. Sync off. Autopilot on. There's VF flaps 1. It's trying to capture 88%. We're looking good. We are in a V-lope. Doing 800 feet per minute in the climb out. There is no spoiler to disarm. So here comes the turn. We should start turning here. There she goes in the turn. Wow, it's really loud. I'm going to turn it down. There it is. All right, now she's going to track outbound, so I'm going to go ahead and press the sync button again. I'm going to lower the nose now so we can increase our pitch about 5 degrees. Sync button back off. 140 knots. We're heavy, so we're climbing nice and slow. What is flat? What is our VFTO speed? That's why I wish I had the call out. I don't know why we didn't have a call out on it. Normally the FO is calling. And 140, we'll go flaps 0. We'll go ahead and clean those up. Look at that. What a beautiful departure. We'll go ahead and get rid of the stick cam because you guys don't need to see that anymore. Listen to the sound. You hear the air accelerating as we, as the flaps get clean. Gosh, I love that. Absolutely love that. All right, there we go. There is our. Now we're accelerating. Now she's really starting to speed up. Let's double check where we are on the charts here. I'm gonna go back to the home page. Oh, get rid of that. Home charts. So we're on the departure. Remember, we're Squaw Valley. Let me turn my DME on. I actually didn't. There we go. So there's our DME. We're 12 miles out. We're looking for 250 knots here when we hit 10,000 feet. And then we're going to level off a little bit more. We're approaching 10,000 feet now. That's close enough. So at 10,000, I'm going to go ahead and turn the engine air on. We'll go ahead and turn the APU air off. And at this point, we can go ahead and turn off the APU. And we're running on engine air now. And we can also adjust our hydraulics. We're going to go PTU auto, PTU off. So as we approach 250 knots, I'm going to hit the IAS button, and we're going to hold IAS. Airbus throttles look bigger, and yes, they are. They are indeed. APU is coming offline. That's normal. So they're the ETSI mod. The ETSI mod. Now we're at 10. Let's go ahead and clean up our lights as well. So we'll go ahead and put that off, off, and someone was talking about the overhead lights. Let me, there we go. Let me brighten these up a little bit. So off, those are off. And we need to turn off the wing lights up here as well. So wing lights can come off, logo lights stay off. We're looking good. 11.2, there's 250. I'm going to go into IAS hold. And we want to walk that power back. It's starting to creep up a little bit there. Let's walk it back about 80. I think it was about 88. what I saw for our performance today. We're 5 miles from the VOR. Look at that shot, huh? So approximately 5 miles or so from the VOR, what we're going to do now is we're going to get into heading mode. From heading mode, we are going to then manually do the procedure turn back around to track that same course that we did inbound, but we're going to track it outbound. Beautiful shot here at Telluride, or I'm sorry, not Telluride, Tahoe. Man, hit the like button for that. We got 336 people watching. Let me give you something to like right now. Hit the like button for that. Look at that. All right, we're getting close to the VOR. We're way close, so should it be ahead of the game here. I'm going to go heading mode. So we're going to select heading. And now the VOR is going to do its thing. I'm going to go ahead and start the turn a little bit early. That's just fine. We're out of 13,000. We're plenty high now, where what we could do is we're just going to go into FMS nav. And I'll show you what we're doing. So here's the VOR. We could make this turn all the way back around and re-intercept and then track out to spook. But because we are FMS capable, we've complied with all of the terrain. We're above 12,000 feet, which is the minimum sector altitude here as indicated by on the chart. We're at 13.8. So what I'm going to do now to simplify, I'm going to do what we love as pilots here. We're going to go direct to spook, execute, and now we need to switch our nav source to RNAV. And now you're going to see we've got an RNAV selected needle here. You cannot change the OBS needle when you're in RNAV. It will automatically go to what course is selected in the box. So we may get a deviation here about halfway to this turn. What I'm going to do is redirect us, and that way we can have the needle a little bit more straight, because these old airplanes, just like the real airplanes will, is if you did this like we just did here, we did a direct to and we're way off on the course, the airplane has a tendency to hunt, and it will eventually get back on course, but it's going to hunt for a while. So I'm keeping us in heading mode now, and now I'm going to redirect us. So this is how I would prefer to do it. Redirect, execute, we're in RNAV. Now I'm going to select LNAV, and look, it's basically going to just level out right now. So that's called a redirect. Verify our FMA, or that's what I call it. We are altitude arm, IIS hold, and we are in LNAV now as opposed to heading. With RNAV navigation selected, we're 28 miles from spook with a ground speed of 340 knots. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes your tutorial from the BAE 146 departure. I feel like I've been talking a lot and not interacting at all with you guys in chat on that. I apologize. But this airplane it's a high workload, but if you understand how to manage the airplane, it's an easy workload to handle. You know, there's a lot to do, but it's easy to handle. Whereas you fly other airplanes like the 727 comes to mind, or heck, even the MD-80 really. Those older airplanes, there's just kind of a lot to do all the time. The 747, oh my gosh, that might be one of the highest workload airplanes we have, the 747-200 Classic on the X-Plane 11. So while I'm not comparing it directly to those types of workloads, it's a workload that requires a lot of input, but it's a lot of easy stuff. And the biggest thing that you want to understand is how the airplane is trying to fly with the sync button and what it's trying to latch to. And just like the Airbus, live and die by what's up here. If you ever want to know what your airplane is doing, verify this panel up here. So we are in RNAV, we are in LNAV, we are in IIS hold, and we're at altitude arm. Thank you, Dimitri H, for a 7-month of membership, sir. Thank you so much, man. It is the default FMC that comes with the airplane, but this FMC comes from, I believe, the CJ4 mod. You guys probably will know more. Now, there's some other things it does. I use it basically just for the flight plan function, and then the data link weather. So I'm going to go here into, we already have that. Let's go terminal weather. Let's see what Burbank is doing. Current information at Burbank there. So that's good to go. Great stream, V1. Views all fabulous, but seems strange looking out under a wing. Not used to that. It is a little bit strange to get used to. It is a little bit strange. I would give you that. Indeed. Indeed, it is a little bit strange. I'm a little bit quiet versus the sim. Let me go ahead and see if I... Oh yeah, I see the issue there. Let me dial that down. I'm gonna dial... This airplane is pretty loud. Yes, when I go to the outside view as well, so I apologize for that. But once we get to our cruise power, it's going to be nice and quiet. But listen to that view right there. IS hold tends to oscillate up and down a lot in this aircraft, so I tend to use vertical speed mode. There you go, yeah. And you know what, Brian? That may have a lot to do with the weather that's going on too. But I can, you know, it's vertical speed, IAS, whatever you want to go to. You can even use just the pitch, right? You can just use the pitch command down here. You can use pitch command as well. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to do that. We're going to go ahead and go off of IIS and see we're in pitch mode. So now I'm going to turn my sync on and I'm going to pitch down a little bit here. Right there. I'm going to do about 500 feet per minute. So now I'm just in pitch mode. That will eliminate any oscillations, but you do have to be careful with your speed in this mode. There's 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and set standard. Flying this plane to Lowy right now. Awesome, dude. Awesome. 290902 is set. We should be walking this back. We should be about 86 on the throttles. Right about there. TMS will do its thing. 18.4. We might even be a little bit heavy, honestly. For me, it seems that the TMS sync mode keeps upping the N1 a bit, especially in cruise, making the airplane overspeed for a while. Bart, interesting. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at that because I had an overspeed issue earlier. You might be right. So TMS sync mode keeps upping the N1, especially in cruise. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on that, Bart. Thanks for the heads up, man. Thank you, Local Pilot. Says, very nice departure. I remember flying in this as a passenger a few times in the late 90s. Always enjoyed it. Heck yeah, man. Working toilet not needed. That's right, Steve. Now, can I? Now, this is something that I'm curious about. I don't know if I could bind those buttons or not. I just changed pitch there. A little bit of light chop climbing out. You know what? I honestly think we're going to be a little heavy for 290. So let's go ahead and do. Let's do 250. We'll altitude arm it at 250. The reflection. RNAV versus LNAV was my question. Oh, what did I miss that? Why do you need RNAV and LNAV? Oh, so. Oh, RNAV. Oh, that's just area navigation. So are you talking about up here on the column? So this is just telling me that I am in RNAV over here, as opposed to nav. I am in a GPS navigation mode over here instead of nav. This is what I'm using for lateral navigation. So I don't. Maybe it's a bit of redundancy. You know, it could depend on different aircraft have different systems. Maybe they weren't RNAV capable, or just it could depend on the airplane. Maybe it had traditional INS. I'm not sure. But this, I'm pretty sure, is referring to the HSI, because this is RNAV and NAV. You don't want to be trying to nav in RNAV when you have your HSI selected in NAV, because you're not going to be going to the right place, or vice versa. But this directly reflects up here what's happening. You see, there is no RNAV up here. This is just LNAV. We're climbing slowly but surely. Trying to find a good view. Kind of loud in front of the engines. That's kind of a good shot right there. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like the GPS switch, Bill. Sync on TMS matches all engines to one master. Sync mode for pitch angles changes AOA. Yep. How was my 2-day trip? Oh, don't forget to reset my pressurization. Robert, thank you, man. Thank you. Which I think we're already past it. Maybe not. We're going to set 250, and we can check over here that we are still within limits. Cabin altitude is, we're descending. We are descending because we got ahead of schedule there. So now the cabin is descending. That's fine. That's normal. That's normal. Probably feel it in your ears there. Probably feeling it in your ears a little bit on that. Anyway, how was my 2-day trip? Yeah, so if you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and dial this down even more. Right about there, 2% there. And then let's get some tunes on. Let's go ahead and get this going here. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. But we're cruising now. I kind of want to stay in the cockpit until we level off. So we're 21.3, climbing 360. I think that's fine. I'm just going to stay here for now. So yeah, my 2-day trip. So the reason I didn't stream this weekend, guys, I do apologize for that. I was totally planning on it. I said, hey, we're going to stream. So Saturday rolls around, and I was too tired. I spent the day at the lake. I was too tired to end up streaming on Saturday night. So I'm like, all right, no worries. I'm going to stream Sunday. Plus, I used a little bit of Saturday night to refresh some manuals. I read some stuff on the Mad Dog. I read some stuff on the 146. I had the 146 on Friday night, actually. I think I was streaming it in the Discord on Friday night. I was streaming the 146, talking to you guys in the Discord channel there. Which, by the way, if you want to be informed about the channel, what's going on, do join the Discord. The link is in the description. I post. I try to stay pretty active in there, let you know what's going on, what I'm doing, where I've been, all that good stuff. So it's totally free. You don't have to be a member of the channel to join the Discord. The members do have their own sections, however. So, but welcome to the. You're more than welcome to join the Discord. But anyway, so I was streaming it in the Discord on Friday night. Thought, man, I really like this airplane. Then I put a poll out for all the commercial members. I said, hey, what airplane do you want to see me stream first, the MD-80 or the BAE 146? Of course, the MD-80 won that. There was a lot of votes for that. Normally, I'm pretty good at honoring what the members ask for, but after seeing there was just so many streams on the MD-80, like I said, it wasn't a bad thing. I felt like I wanted to do something a little bit different. And for me personally, that I knew this airplane flew really well, and I was really happy with it from the get-go. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do the 146 first, just to kind of break up some of the content, right, that's being put out there. So I'm like, I'm going to stream Sunday, then work calls me. I'm actually at the office getting ready to stream on Sunday. And work calls, they said, hey, any chance you can help us out by picking up a super quick turn? I didn't say super quick turn. I said just a quick turn to Tampa and back. You only fly one leg, a deadhead on the way back, you'll be home before dinner. And I'm like, of course, you get move up pay, you get compensated for doing something that you don't have to do. I could have said no, but I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. What the heck? And I figured I might do a late night stream on Sunday night and then stream on Monday. So I scramble, I go home, I shave, get showered, all that stuff, and I'm driving to work, and they wanted me there pretty quick. I live about an hour and a half from the airport as is, so I was really scrambling to get there on time anyway. To get to work. So I'm driving to work like 90 miles an hour on the express lane, and I get into the airport, and as soon as I roll into the gate, I see the FO standing up there, and then there's another FO deadheading on the airplane. I'm like, all right, what's going on? Are we going? Let's go. And I just kind of, I checked in with the gate agent and put my stuff down. I went down to the cockpit, and the flight attendant, there was 2 flight attendants down there. I said, hey, you know we're delayed, right? I'm like, what do you mean we're delayed? So I go back up to the gate agent up top, and sure enough, we're delayed. We're waiting on two more flight attendants. That 30-minute delay or whatever turned into a 2-hour delay, which then turned into a 3.5, almost 4-hour delay waiting for additional crew members. So all that time I've been sitting there, I'm like, well, now I'm definitely not going to make my flight home tonight. And then they asked me if I could reschedule into something else, do some additional flying. And I said, you know what, I'll do that. But then that canceled. So then I got rescheduled back to what my original stuff was, just to fly to Tampa. But of course, by the time I got into Tampa, it was super late at night. There was no flight home. And I ended up doing the overnight in Tampa, which is fine. I mean, it's the company, they put you up. And I actually really enjoy our Tampa overnight. But the thing is, they didn't have me scheduled on a deadhead to come home until I think 7 o'clock on Monday night, 7 p.m. And I didn't really feel like staying in the hotel all day and hanging out in Tampa. Sometimes I would, but let's take the wife and kids with me. But I just wanted to get back as soon as possible. So I noticed there was a 5 a.m. flight back home on Monday morning. So by the time I went to bed, it was about 1 a.m. and I had to be at the airport for a 5 a.m. departure the next day. So I had about 3 hours of sleep. Came home yesterday, did some stuff at the office, and then literally crashed out. I think I passed out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I slept till about 8 this morning. So it was a whirlwind of stuff that happened. That's where I was. That's where I'd been. I posted a little short story about it. And of course, not only were we delayed on the way to Tampa, but there was weather moving in. There was weather all over the place over the Gulf. It wasn't bad. We were able to top it, of course, but it just goes, whenever you try to do something nice, it tends to not go unpunished. So that's where I was. But here we are now. We're going to be streaming today. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm definitely going to be streaming tomorrow because I got a new GPU. So as long as I don't torch my computer trying to get it all hooked up, we'll be ready to go tomorrow for a 3090 stream. All right, we are finally leveling 250. What I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Seatbelt sign is off. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the power back. It's about, let's start out with about 85%. Well, let's see, 84, 83. Let's see what that gives us. And what we can do now is we can release the crew. Oh, there was an announcement there. I couldn't really hear it over the music, but all right. Cabin crew is released. Seatbelt sign is off. 250. We're in cruise. I feel like you know what? I'm still on my Jamaica playlist from when we were flying down to Kingston. I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward a couple of times here. Let me just go all the way down here. Let's go down here. There we go. I like this song. 3090 Fubar, yes indeed. I've been tracking some 3090 sales. I was able to pick one up for a pretty good price in my opinion. It was about I think out the door, a little under 1,700 US for a 3090, which I've been wanting. I could have got a 3080, but I know people are like, oh, it's extra VRAM, you don't need it, blah blah blah. I wanted to do it for a couple of reasons. DCS is one of them. If you guys fly Digital Combat Simulator, it is a hog. My 1070 handles it well, as long as you have your settings properly set. Which, if you guys are in Digital Combat Sim, I might just screenshot all my settings anyway, because I can run pretty much a constant 30.
It's been a long time since I could see a stream, and I'm glad to be back. What is your favorite variant to fly, CEO or Neo, and why? Have you heard about Airbus denying Qatar ordering 321 Neos? What was your proudest moment in your aviation career? The ATP.
Well, that's a loaded question there. Thank you, Papa Tango, for the $1 dono, man. Very much appreciate that. My favorite CEO variant to fly? Oh, man, it's probably the 19 all the way around. I did not hear about Qatar denying that. My proudest aviation career moment was, obviously getting my ATP. That definitely is. That was a pretty proud moment. That and upgrading to captain the first time. The first time you make captain at an airline, that was a pretty big moment for me. Thank you for that. Banking, I'll check right back at you, Papa Tango. Thanks for your support, man. But yeah, as far as DCS goes, main jet used to be the F-14. That was I still am in love. That's probably my favorite military aircraft, the F-14. But I'm a huge rotor head. I love helicopters through and through. So the Apache brought me back to DCS. I was actually on kind of a sabbatical, if you will, from DCS for a while there. I was into DCS long before this channel started, and then this channel started because I got kind of burnt out from the DCS game, and I was hard into the Civi Sims. And then now with the Apache, it's kind of bringing me back into DCS. But I love the Huey. I love the Apache. I actually love the H145 on Microsoft Flight Sim. I think it's a really well done helicopter. In fact, I do have, I do want to do some streams with it with, what's it called, NeoFly? I think we'll give ourselves a little bit more juice here. Let's bump it up. Let's see, we do about 83 or so in the power. So yeah, that's kind of the reasoning behind all that. Yeah, you run it comfortably with the 1070. Yeah, as long as you have the right card or the right graphics settings, it runs really well. But my buddy Jungly, he's got a high-end graphics card, and I can see he runs his on a lot higher settings, and I kind of wanted to do that. So I figured it's time to retire the 1070. I've had it a long time. It's been a great card. In fact, I'm going to put it on my computer at the house, on the office computer. That way I can do some video editing from home now, which will be really nice. Did you hear Spirit Pilot turn down JetBlue offer? I did, Matt. I did. Very surprising, honestly. Very, very surprising. But I did hear that. We'll see what happens next. You know, the shareholders still have to vote, I believe, on that. So I'm trying to get this set to like 1. I don't know why I can't. There we go. Dylan, what's up, man? 25-month subscription? Whew. Thank you for the continued support, man. Morning from the tractor. Is it a John Deere tractor? Let me ask you that. Is it a John Deere? What do you got? What's up, man? Welcome. Glad to have you on board, Dylan. Could you please show the 1070 settings as far as DCS? I will, yeah. I will. Where do I stream now? I stream at my streaming PC is actually at an office space, because I don't have the internet bandwidth at my house to stream for you guys. So I got a little V1 HQ. I rent an office out every month, but you know, I pay rent on it every month, so I could stream to you guys. So my hardcore PC is here at the office. Looks like we've got a nice little airport down there. What is that? Is that Fresno? Where's Phantom when you need him? I think that's Fresno. Let's check the VFR map, shall we? Updated Starlink? No, it just says it should be mid-2020. Yep, that is indeed Fresno. Used to do a lot of freight running up and down this valley. I'd go Fresno, Visalia. I'd fly to Visalia. If California, actually, if the United States as a whole were to receive an enema, it would probably be Visalia, California. Man, that place is rough. It smells, it's hot. I used to fly the beach into Visalia quite a bit. Visalia, Fresno. What else is up here? I can see, I can't really see anything. I think from Fresno, I'd go up further north. Hayward, obviously flew in and out of Hayward, Oakland, and further north. Santa Cruz. That's where my grandparents live. I spent a lot of time out here on the West Coast. We're looking good. Yeah, it seems to be good, right about 85% there on the thrust. Perfect. Let's enjoy some engine view there. Ooh, yeah, that's juicy right there. Any tips on the Honeycomb Bravo throttles? Mine should be delivered soon. Alexandra, so this is as far as X-Plane is concerned or Microsoft Flight Sim? Because as far as Microsoft Flight Sim is concerned, make sure you unbind everything in your Bravo throttle quadrant. And then bind exactly what you want, whether it be thrust axes or buttons, because it will bind some weird stuff for you, and then you'll wonder why things don't work. Other than that, though, no. I mean, the Bravo is super nice. I love the Bravo. I stand by the Bravo as a product. The Alpha, I no longer I will really recommend the Alpha, I don't think. I've had so many issues with mine. I've got a light switch that broke. It just doesn't work anymore. And then as far as the ports are concerned, there's a little USB port. When you pull on it, the axes get messed up. I have to do a recalibration like every time I start the sim. It just, it did not last. It did not last as much as I'd want it to. Maybe I got a lemon, I don't know. But unfortunately, I don't think I would recommend it. I would recommend getting a TCA yoke if you're strictly an airliner guy. Now, if you fly a ton of GA, all right, then maybe you want to go the Alpha route because it is pretty much predicated on a GA aircraft. But as far as the Bravo throttle is concerned, I think it's the best throttle you can get. I really do. As far as being compatible with everything else, You can fly a freaking 747 on there to a single engine Aero and have your mixture props, everything bound, flaps. So the amount of axes it has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 axes, plus the trim wheel that I use. You know, I use the trim wheel in the 146 here on the yoke. You know, if I turn the stick cam on with my low quality cam, I still got to fix it. But there's a trim wheel right here. I don't know if you can see it, and it works perfectly. Plug and play with the BAE 146. So I love using it as a trim. Of course, you know, I updated the handles. The handles that come with it are stock. The stock ones are a little bit small for my personal preference. I understand why they did it though. But you can buy additional mods. You can buy the Airbus mod from Honeycomb, and then you can buy a ton of mods from Etsy and 3D printers. These happen to all be 3D printed Etsy mods. So all of these mods cost me probably less than 15 bucks. You know, the thrust levers, the Airbus throttles, the flap detents, the flap lever, the spoiler lever with arming position. You can arm it up. The actual detents, which are magnets, which I don't have with me on my desk because I took them off for this flight. But yeah, the Bravo is just a wonderful, wonderful piece of hardware. Where we at here? 25 miles. Oh, we're overspeeding now. Oh, I see what you mean. I thought we set like 86, so now it's like up to 88. Let's go ahead and bring it back to 80. We're going to go ahead and slow down. Good thing we checked here. Where are we at on our flight plan? Let's go to the legs page. Reberg. We're looking all right now. Power's coming back. Getting closer to your written with Shepherd Air. Alex, that's awesome to hear, man. Awesome to hear it, man. Oh, this song is on here? I didn't know this song was on here. I have to master the external camera controls. I'm not very good at the external camera controls. I need to get a controller plugged in. You can try the TGT mode, but it goes as low as 600C. Interesting, Bart. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Yeah, but it definitely did. It did exactly what you said. It kind of crept up. Are you going to put links to the mods to the program in the program description? Are you talking about the Etsy mods? Let me pull those up for you right now. Now, as a word of warning, the Airbus mods that I have specifically they go off of the Airbus detents. So 3D sim mods. All right, this is basically what I have. Definitely increased their price. Definitely increased their price. All right, here we go. I'm just going to link you the ground spoiler. Actually, no, which one should I link you? You probably want the thrust levers, right? But this guy's got a ton of stuff. Actually, I'm going to link you to his page. Here you go. That way, here. I'm going to put it in chat for you right now. Just surf that whole shop. There's all kinds of stuff on there for the Bravo. All right, we're slowed back down. Let's come back up to about 80%. TGT at 600 sets you nicely at Mach 0.7, just below VNE and more stable than N1. Okay, TGT at 600C. Now, this is something I haven't messed with. So, if I set TGT to 600, and then set, oh no, that was for landing. So I got to set this to 600. Manually. This is something I have not done. So I'm going to go, wait, TGT. Do I not have to set the EPR bugs? It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're doing their own thing. So I've got TGT selected 600C. It looks like it's working. Okay. Okay, see? Look at that, 600C. This is, I mean, these are little things I just absolutely freaking love on this airplane, man. Absolutely love it. All right, let's look at Burbank. information. LA Tower, that's not who we need to worry about. What? Gotta relog in. What? Hold on. I don't know what happened there. Whiskey Fox Romeo Mike Victor 8 Yankee Delta. Cool. All right. Back at it. Search for Burbank. Let's go 10-9 page. Pull this out. There's Burbank. We are on the rocker. All right, we're below 290, so we're looking good here, and we're actually. Let's just verify. So we've got cruise easy, all that stuff. Yep, cruise easy. That's all in there.
Look up.
I'm not going to do a full VNAV profile with it because we don't have any ATC on. But basically, we need to bottom out at 6,000 over mark. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do 6,000 feet minus 24. That would be 18 times 3. That's what, like 52-ish miles, 53-ish miles. And that's going to be off of. Let's look at the approach as well. ILS Zulu runway 8. You know what? We could just fly it from the transition. Why is it so blurry? There we go. I'd actually rather do a full procedure from Fillmore 112.5. Let's see if we can throw that in the nav too. See what's going on over here. Just curious. 112.5. Nothing. I could put it in here as well. 112.5. Flip it to the top. We're going to need the localizer frequency. Might as well do this while we're up here. 109.5. I'm going to put that in the pre-select. So we're pre-select still. We're going to put in 109.5. That's in the pre-select for the localizer. Cool. And 9.5. Can I get, and if I turn DME on, oh, that's rad out, excuse me. I already got DME, but it's an FMS. Cool. We'll just pay attention to where we are here on the star, on the rocker 2. 290, 240. So basically highway at 20 is what we need to worry about. Nav 2 should work if you press the knob to turn it on. Like to do it here, will this mess with the nav? I think we're just out of range. We're still pretty far. Here's a highway as at 20. We only got to lose 4,000 feet. Piper Pilot, what's up, man? If you've been watching the channel for a couple of years now, I was wondering if you'll be making plans to do another corporate pilot series. You know, I really enjoyed the I'm drawing a blank. Not the Hawker. Challenger. Really wanted to do some more stuff with the Challenger. We'll see. We'll see. Heck, I might finish the stuff with the Bravo, but here's the thing. It has to be in Microsoft or X-Plane 12. I'm pretty much at a point now, guys, where X-Plane 11 is really hard for me to fire up. And this song is really hard for me to listen to. So I will probably be waiting for X-Plane 12. That's always a good song, but skip it. You know, just having these airliners and Microsoft now is so much. It to me, this right here, what you're looking at, is the future of our simulation. Now, X-Plane 12 is definitely going to have a place, but with these aircraft that are coming in here to Microsoft Flight Sim, and the others that are on the horizon, such as the PMDG, the Phoenix 320, that is, you know, that's going to be keeping me in this sim platform for quite some time. When X-Plane 12 drops, absolutely, I'm going to be all over it. You know, I'm an equal opportunity simmer. I don't really discriminate on any sim, you know, other than P3D. I think P3D has kind of had its heyday, but I understand they have a lot of military contract stuff. But as far as desktop simulation, PMDG dropping in Microsoft, it'd be really hard not to switch over if you're already in PMDG stuff in P3D. But we'll see what happens, man. My priorities are going to be getting a whole new updated Airbus Professional series when the Phoenix comes out. So when the Phoenix 320 comes out, I'm going to be redoing my Airbus Professional series, which is the first thing I did on this channel, which kind of drew everybody in, really. That's where this channel started. It wasn't a live streaming channel. It was a tips and instructional video channel. So I'm going to redo that brand new with the Phoenix 320 when it comes out. And then that's going to be the number one priority, really. Jeff, I hear you too. You make a good point. Oh, look at that. Look at it in the turn. Are you kidding me? If you guys haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button for that right there. What a shot. The shadows and just this airplane. Oh. You see how this airplane flies? It flies, the feeling of the flight model of this airplane is so good. I'll piss a lot of people off when I say it, but I think this airplane hand flies better than the Mad Dog. I really do. Maybe I'll change my mind if I have a few more flights. Like I said, I only have one complete flight in the Mad Dog, and I did one like test flight where I didn't even land. I just took off and did some stuff. But this airplane hand flies so well. You know, if you've flown an airplane with it's a high wing, it definitely is different than a low wing aircraft. And that's as true as when you look at a Piper Arrow, a Cessna 172. And now I've never flown the 146, but I can only imagine that is still true when it comes to looking at when it comes to feel that feeling of being below the center of lift. So, and I feel that in this airplane. I really do. All right, we need to start prepping for landing here. Let's go ahead and set 200. I'm going to go ahead and do alt arm. And we'll do IAS. Or actually, no, we're just in pitch mode. I'm going to bring the power back. And I'm going to go sync. And we're going to nose over a little bit. Nice and easy on the controls. Right about 2,000 feet per minute is what you're looking for. Sync mode off. And we're on our way down. We're going to pause the music after this song. This airplane does have a cabin, by the way. I have it off in my settings. But it does have a cabin. Pretty nice. Matter of fact, let's take a quick look at it. So the only reason I don't have it on is because all my saved views are without the cabin on. But there you go. Like, you got a window view. Now it's not as good a window as like the default Airbus or like the fly-by-wire, but it still has a cabin. I mean, you can still walk around here. Pretty nice. There you go. How's that for a realism shot? Yes, the flight dynamics, I will say this, X-Plane 11, the flight dynamics are very, very hard to beat. But the more I fly some of these airplanes that have their own flight models, the more my opinion is starting to, I wouldn't say change. I think X-Plane is pretty much hands down is a superior flight model, and it is a platform that allows for a superior flight model to be constructed. But I'm going to be very curious to see what PMDG can whip up with their airplane. This airplane is also very good. The MD-80 is, I feel like there is still some questions. I still have some questions about some of the flight model stuff in the 80. I'll bring the power back a little bit here. But let's go ahead and, enough chit-chat, let's go ahead and start prepping for our descent and approach. What's up, Mr. Martini? Welcome aboard, dude. Looks like we're going to level here at flight level 200 over Peppers. We want to actually set the bottom. Let's just go ahead and set the bottom. So we're going to close the settings. We'll go ahead and just turn the cabin off right now because I don't need it. We're going to go home page. We're going to go aircraft. And no, what was I doing? No. We're going to go home page, charts. Bottom is Marek at 6,000. So let's just dial in 6,000 up here on the window. $6,000 is set. And let's arm that. Bring that power back, starting to get close to overspeeding. A little bit of speed brake here. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the current weather. So we're going to go index data link weather. Let's send for updated weather, return, view, Burbank. Clear variable at 6, gusting 15. Interesting. 21, 29er, 9er, 1. All right, we're getting ready to go through 18. So let's go ahead and set 29er, 9er, 1. Let's turn the seatbelt sign back on. Let's pull out a checklist. And we do need to select the descent mode here. Cool. Let's go ahead and run some more checklist items.
Subscriber ahead.
PTU. Let's go ahead and turn that on. PTU's on. Tick. Pressurization is set. Briefing complete. Landing data, check bugs, and set. We'll do that right now. So we'll skip over to the next page. And for the landing data and bugs, we'll set our current weight. Flaps 30 landing. VREF is 125. So the bugs are now set for 125. Or should they? Yeah, well, okay, should be set. 125. Cool. It's sad that the PMDG and Mad Dog X will be the last airlines released soon. I don't think it's, I think you're going to have plenty of time flying the Mad Dog and PMDG around and this airplane around it. That's a nice little slew of airplanes to choose from. And I don't think Phoenix will be that far off. At least I hope not. All right, where are we at? Let's go to the legs page. Zeppi. I kind of want to do this with the VOR, though. Unless we did the full procedure off of Van Nuys. 1095.079 is the final approach course. Let me see. Let's put this in the heading. And we're going to see. We're going to go heading mode. Heading select. I'm going to go into nav. And yeah, we're 12 miles. It's right in front of us. Let's do this. Let's do this old school. We don't have any ATC to worry about, so we're going to go VLOC ARM. We're going to track directly to the Fillmore VOR. This is fun. I like doing this. I like doing old school stuff. We're going to go direct to Fillmore. Now, technically, this isn't a flyable segment because there is no altitude with it. But after we cross it, we're going to fly about 136 outbound to intercept the localizer. So yeah, we're looking good anyway. We're pretty much, that's pretty much what that star does, I think. It brings you down pretty much over Fillmore and then down into here. In fact, Mickey is a transition, I believe. It is. There's Mickey right there. So theoretically, we could just go direct to Mickey, but we'll leave it in the box as is, and we'll do it manually. Now, as far as the DH, we're going to select is it 200 on this approach? No, it's not. It's 348. Wow. So we'll set 350. 350 is set on the DH. We're going to go ahead and pick up our rate of descent here. I'm going to slow down a little bit more. A little speed brake action coming out. Seatbelt sign is on. We're looking good. All right, so we're 3 miles from the VOR. I'm going to reset my heading bug to be straight on. I'm going to select heading. And now we need to fly approximately the 136 course, which is basically what we're flying right now. .136 course is set. We're going to get a from to flip, and we're going to track it outbound. We're descending down to 6,000 feet. Altitude is armed. There is the flip. Going over the top of the station. All right, now we're tracking outbound, so I'm going to scroll my heading bug to the right. And there we go. Now we are VOR. So I want to set the Loken VOR to 109.5. And the final approach course is 079er. I'll put that in nav2. Just so I know what I'm looking at over here. So there's that set up. Come back to the left. Let's track this course a little better. Heading mode over and V-loc it. We're going through 10,000. We're pretty much at 200 or so below that 250. So we're good there. Let's get our lights on. Landing lights on. Seatbelt signs are already on. Let's go wing lights and logo lights on. 9.7 descending to 6,000. We're in low capture mode. Silex is at 4,000 or 3,700. Over if you had to do the procedure turn 4,000, 3,700 inbound. So I'm just going to go ahead and dial in 4 for now. 4,000 armed. Did not arm it. 4,000 is armed. How about a late night GPU test stream? Yeah, it will happen. I think it's going to happen, Sam. I got to run back to the house, though, and pick up my GPU. Just look at that, though, huh? Does that look awesome or what, man? Jeez. The reflections on this airplane are insane. I mean, it looks... it just looks straight up real to me.
Look up.
The modeling and texturing on this airplane are, I think, some of the best. I think it's the best in the sim, honestly. I think it's the best in the sim. Oh, we flew past it. I'm going to go heading. Start turning left. I flew past the turn, the course there. So here we go. We're going to go pre-select 109.5, course 079. We're going to have to intercept it from this side. We had a little bit of an overshoot there. I got distracted looking outside. 079. So you can see we're going to keep spinning that heading bug past the intercept course there so we can rejoin. We're at 250 knots at 10,000 feet. The lights are on. We're looking good. Sam says, I'm definitely drinking the Kool-Aid. The lighting, the atmospherics are just addicting. Absolutely, Sam. Absolutely, man. And especially now that we're getting some airplanes that are high fidelity. I knew it. I knew I would feel this way when they came out. I was already drinking the Kool-Aid, even with the fly-by-wire. All right. Let's get ready to land this sucker. I'm gonna come a little bit more left. Surprised there's no DME on this approach. It's not. Silex is at 3,700. Heck, I can see, I saw it earlier, I can see the airport. So let's go VLOC arm. We need to pick up our rate of descent. So I'm going to open the speed brakes. That's right, we're 146 though. I mean, this airplane can come down if you need it to. Glide slope arm. Air brakes out. Glide slope and LOC have now captured. I believe that's, I don't know why, I don't know what triggers the speeds or the call outs, but there's VFTO clean speed, flaps 1. What? That was weird. Okay. Flaps 2. Let's go ahead and get the sounds up. Maximum juice. Maximum juice sounds enabled. Oh, we need replay. Now I will, as a word of caution, I did replay once, and okay, weird. I'm gonna start recording. I don't know what's going on with Microsoft. Runways in sight, or flaps 18. We can go ahead and
traffic, JustFlight 67, taxiing runway 24 left departure, departing to the south.
So aircraft.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
2,500.
What is up with this? What is, I've never seen that before. I've got a freaking fiber connection that has 0 interruptions going on. Like, I'm monitoring it right now. So I don't know what's going on with that. Make sure our bugs are set. There we go. We're going to set our bugs for landing. Gear's coming down. That's the gear horn. Gosh, that looks good. On speed, flaps 30, VFTO. I don't know, my scenery, obviously, in all this reloading and unloading, my scenery loading and took a dump, obviously, which sucks, but hey, we're here for the 146. A little bit more power now, a little bit more power. Okay. All right, autopilot will be disconnected now. We'll turn the flight directors off. Flaps 30. A little slow, a little bit more power. I'm going to unpause my track IR. All right, we're back on speed.
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
Nope. I feel like I'm sitting way low in my seat. correcting. Yeah, look at my scenery went kaputs. I don't know what happened with the loading and unloading of the sim there.
And on this traffic Delta 567.
So much for scenery simulator.
South.
This looks worse than X-Plane 10.
500
Dude, I don't know what is up with that.
plus 100
I think we have a payware scenery though.
minimums.
Looks like X-Plane 11 now. Shots fired. Ginar, shots fired. We're still high. There we go. There's our happy. Oh my gosh, we don't even have a runway, guys. Are you kidding me? Over the threshold. We're gonna get the air
50,
brake out.
40
Gonna go ahead and
30,
close the throttle.
20
Nice and easy.
10
Ground idle. Yellow and green spoilers. I don't know what's going on with this, guys. What? What did we just land on? What did we just land on? What is going on? What is this? What? What is this? I have never seen this happen. I have never seen this happen. Wow. I mean, even the terminal is all jacked up. I'm just going to go over here and park, I guess. I think it just landed on X-Plane 6, Blue Mac FS98. Hey, Christian, don't blame me, dude. I didn't screw this up. Like my sim kept disconnecting and put me in offline mode. I have no idea why. Let's go ahead and secure the aircraft though. Brakes are set. I'm not going to shut down because we're going to look at the replay. But look, see, nothing is loaded in. Nothing is loaded in. Had to reload the sim to fix it. Has to be with the FS connection issue not loading from online scenery. Let me see real quick here. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me stop recording. General, I mean, no data limitation. I don't know what's going on with that. Online on. Should this be on? Should Bing Data World Graphics be on? Uh-oh.
LA traffic, American 1423 heavy, taking off runway 25 right, departing.
Update 9 quirks. Why was that off? So it went to offline and then back online and just left that off? Oh, look at that. Oh, and now we've crashed. Wow. 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 It gets turned off when the network connection dies. All right, hold on. I think we might be able to save the replay. Hold on. I'm going to load directly into Burbank. We're going to load right onto the runway. And then we're going to go from there. Hold on. Why do I have crash detection on? Because it keeps me honest. Turn off collision settings while you're at it. Man, I turned off one of the things. I didn't turn off crash detection because if you don't have crash detection, then nothing's going to keep you honest. This is why we can't have nice things. Hey.
Burbank Tower
Let's see what happens here.
Departing straight out at runway 8.
So look, see Christian, it wasn't me. Hey,
Urban 1 leaving my airspace frequency.
look at that. We've got replay mode, guys. Full flaps. Obviously the all right, hey.
Urban 1, did you hear my last transmission?
Why are my landing gear up is what I'm concerned about. Maybe we didn't lower them yet. It seemed to configure just fine. Let's see. Oh, I hear the gear coming down now. Oh yeah, the gear's down now. Gear is down now. Hey, we fixed it. We saved it. We saved it. We saved it. Now we can see that landing, because that landing was pretty dang good, I think. Between reinstalls, this kind of stuff makes me real hesitant to spend money on Microsoft digital work. Hey, that's the first time that's happened to me. I think that's a Sim Update 9. That's what someone was saying in chat. That does suck. Look, the one thing I will say about Microsoft Flight Sim is forced updates is just the worst idea I think I've ever even heard of. I don't know why they do it. This should be, every update should be optional. If your sim goes out of date, it goes out of date, and you can't support certain things. But don't force every single person to update every single time. I think it's just stupid. But it is what it is. Too much hating on X-Plane 11? Yeah, but look at this. This is a replay mode. This is a replay mode with a broken sim that we salvaged, and this still looks better than X-Plane 11, my friend. I think this was a pretty good landing too. We'll watch this one come in here. So we got a little bit high, correcting. My eyes are closed. Now I wonder if we're going to crash on landing though, because we landed on the old scenery, they're the non-existent scenery, and now we're landing on scenery that is there. So I wonder if we're gonna crash. This will be interesting here on touchdown. Yeah, since we landed underneath the runway that's here now, this could hurt. But let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Turn off crash detection. Let me pause replay. Oh, I can't. I don't know. Won't let me pause replay for some reason. Won't let me pause replay, Sam. Oh boy. There it goes. There's the brake opening. Oh! All right. Hey, I think that is what it is. I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen on the on that replay there, just because of that. We landed below the ground. Okay, so unfortunately we didn't have the best replay there, but guys, I thank you for tuning in tonight. It was fun. I still had fun. I enjoyed this airplane. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go home and get my new GPU. I'm going to see if I can fire it up tonight, and I might do some just traffic pattern flying or some testing late night. So if you're on the U.S. side of things over here in our time zone, do be looking for a stream coming your way tonight. I'm going to do some GPU testing. I want to get my new GPU in there. But other than that, guys, I had fun. I hope you had fun. I hope maybe I opened your eyes a little bit into an airplane that maybe you weren't so sure about getting, because, you know, there is the Mad Dog out. If you love the Mad Dog, then you're going to love the Mad Dog. There's no doubt about it. But maybe the Mad Dog's not your cup of tea and you're thinking about something else. I can personally recommend the 146. It is a great airplane. It flies wonderfully. But the flare, the landing, everything feels right about this airplane. I'm a huge fan of it, and I'm a huge fan of the systems modeling that it has as far as being in depth. And it just, it's more than just flipping switches to flip switches. There's systems that are modeled in the airplane that actually, you know, act like they should act. So. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you on the next one. At the very least, if I'm not streaming tonight, I will be streaming tomorrow. So until then, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. We'll talk to you next time. See you.